My name is Richard Somerville. I want to tell you about a frightening experience that I had some years ago when my youngest son was just a toddler. We were vacationing in the Adriatic Ocean off Yugoslavia, and he had a boating accident while my wife and I were away. He fell on the boat and cut his head badly and was
bleeding
profusely. It was a tiny village in a really
small
place, and the nurse at the first aid station
helped.
He had broken his skull.
Said
she didn't speak
English,
and we didn't speak Serbo-Croatian, so we were
confused
in German, but she was very clear that our son had
broken
his skull, and he had to be taken by ambulance to a
hospital.
That was one of the most
Terrifying
rides I've ever had. The Yugoslav ambulance driver was a wild and
crazy
man. He drove madly on the wrong side of the road, on the side where cars shouldn't be, and passed
everyone.
Sirens flashing, screaming sirens, lights flashing, and it was a ride that seemed to last
forever.
I was following behind him in a car. They wouldn't let me ride in the
ambulance,
so I was also driving at terrifying speeds, and I was
scared.
First of all, that my fractured skull, and second, that my and I were going to get killed in a terrible
accident.
It just seemed impossible to me that we'd make it. We were going over tiny mountain roads, 2-lane
highways,
going around blind curves on the wrong side of the road. And we ended up in the hospital of a nearby
town.
And after a long time, the doctor, who also spoke
English,
came out and told us that he didn't have
a fractured
skull after all. He just had a bad cut. He'd been sewed up. The
doctor
had stopped. There wasn't
bleeding.
anything wrong with him. And he was going to recover and
fine.
It took me a long time to get my
memory
back that night. And I think if I have to draw a
picture
from that terrible experience, it's not to believe that things are always going to be as bad as they
seem.
Sometimes they turn out to be a lot better.